In this video, we're going to understand the special kind of usage of ko and also say, but more importantly, ko. How do you use ko when you're acting and there's a human recipient? So let's start with this sentence. Radha reads a newspaper. Radha reads a newspaper would be Radha newspaper or akhbar padhti hai. Right? Radha akhbar padhti hai. Radha reads a newspaper. That's very standard for us. Now, how do we say Radha reads a newspaper, but Radha reads that particular newspaper. Radha reads the newspaper, right? Radha reads the newspaper. So you would write like this, Radha akhbar ko padhti hai. This is exactly where you use a ko. So this is a special feature of Hindi where if you want to make this newspaper, this akhbar, more specific, you will be using akhbar ko. Okay, it's a certain newspaper. You can even add Radha akhbar ko padhti hai, Radha is akhbar ko padhti hai. That means she reads this particular newspaper. She reads this particular newspaper. So that's what it could mean. Radha is akhbar ko padhti hai. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. All right, let's apply this idea to Amit seeing a car. Amit sees a car, or why don't we try Amit is seeing a car. That's also good practice for seeing. So Amit car, or the word for car is gadi. Amit gadi dekh raha hai. Amit is seeing a car, like he's seeing some car. But now you want to see he's seeing a particular car. So you can say Amit gadi ko dekh raha hai. Amit गाड़ी को देख रहा है. You can also say Amit लाल गाड़ी को देख रहा है. He means he is seeing the red car. The red car. So this is how we say the. Amit लाल गाड़ी को देख रहा है. It means he's seeing a particular car. So it gives the car some kind of an individual characteristic. Okay, so that's how we use ko. Now let's try one more. Amit is seeing a cat. Of course, you will say Amit बिल्ली देख रहा है. Okay, Amit billi dekh raha hai. He's seeing a cat. That's like some generic cat. But if you want to say Amit is seeing the cat, a particular cat, you would say Amit billi ko dekh raha hai. Amit billi ko dekh raha hai. Okay, so this would be Amit billi ko dekh raha hai. You can even make it more extreme. Amit billi ko dekh raha hai. You can say Amit सूरज की बिल्ली को देख रहा है. That means he is seeing Suraj's belly. This gives the cat the extreme characteristic that this is Suraj's cat. So he's seeing it. You would never say Amit Suraj ki billi dekh raha hai. You will say Amit Suraj ki billi ko dekh raha hai, because you immediately provided a feature of the cat. It's become a very special cat. You've instantiated the cat now to make it very specific. So this is how you'll see this. And now let's try to say Amit is seeing Radha, like he's visually seeing her. How can you say this? Amit Radha dekh raha hai. Now this sentence is incorrect because Radha is already a human being. This is already a special human being. So you will say every human being is special in Hindi. So you'll say Radha ko dekh raha hai. So with humans and specific objects, you will use this ko. Amit Radha ko dekh raha hai. Okay. If you want to make it easier, you can even say Amit dekh raha hai, which means Amit is seeing just this part. Amit is seeing, and this part becomes Amit dekh raha hai. And this is a good feature of Hindi. You can always play with the sentences and it'll be completely intelligible to the Hindi listeners. In fact, it'll sound even more native to them to hear these sentences this way. Amit dekh raha hai, and then you can say billi ko. Right? This is easier. Amit is seeing the cat, and here, of course, you can say Radha ko. Amit dekh raha hai, Amit ko, Amit dekh raha hai, usko. All of these ideas would work. You already know usko here. We've used usko like this, and now it's making sense to us why we actually used usko in the first place. It's just a pronoun replacement of Radha, and we were always using humans. So hopefully this has become quite clear to you. All right, now you try it. Priya हमको देखती है. Priya हमको देखती है. That means Priya sees us. You would never say Priya हम देखती है. Priya हमको देखती है. or you can add simply you can also say Priya dekhti hai humko, means she sees us. This is slightly better way of saying it. Priya humko dekhti hai. Now you try one. Sita calls Suresh. Sita calls Suresh. Remember, Suresh is the kind of like the object and Sita is the person who's doing the action. The word for call is bulla. Okay, so see how can you make the sentence happen now? Sita bulati hai. And then you would say to Suresh. So Suresh ko. Sita bulati hai Suresh ko. Or of course, if you know enough Hindi, you can say Sita Suresh ko bulati hai. This is how you can say that. Sita Suresh ko bulati hai. Remember, you need to have the ko in here. Now, there are 5 important verbs where instead of ko, you will use say. There are more verbs of this type, but these are the 5 important verbs, out of which the 3 communicative verbs where you would use the 3 communicative verbs are kah, which means say, bol, which means speak, and pooch, which means ask. So all of these 3 communicative verbs, you're going to use say. So let's think about this sentence here. Amit says to Sushma. So how would you say this? Amit, and the word for say is kah. So you would say Amit kahta hai. Amit kahta hai Sushma ko. That's fine. But a slightly better way to say this is Amit kahta hai Sushma se. Amit kahta hai Sushma se. You can, of course, this is word for word. Amit says is kehta hai and Sushma se. Of course, the very correct way of saying this is Amit Sushma se kehta hai. But you don't want to be a stickler. You and definitely want to get used to moving these around. So Amit Sushma se kehta hai also is good. And you definitely want to be comfortable with Amit kehta hai Sushma se. That makes it more conversational and more human and more organic. Let's try I speak to them. The word for speak, as we know, is bol. And them is un, and unko, we know this part, could also change now. So let's see how we can say this. Main bolta hu. And then you can say to them is unko. And that's fine. But a slightly better way to say this is main unse bolta hu. Main bolta hu unse. Or you can put this here. So one more time, you're just replacing the unko with unse here. Unko with the unse idea. Okay, that's the main idea of Hindi. You're changing it like this. You can still say unko and be done with it, and that's fine. You still get an A+. Okay, but unse is still just a little bit better. It sounds a little bit better. How about this one? Radha asks me. Radha, ask word is pooch. So Radha poochti hai, and then you would say mujhko, but of course we just decided it's going to be mujhse. Okay, Radha poochti hai mujhse, a slightly better way. At least when you're hearing it, it'll be good to interpret and understand this. Okay, now how about ask me, like a question. So how can you say this? Poochiye, right? And then of course it would be mujhse poochiye. You can say mujhko poochiye is also good, but mujhse poochiye is a bit better. Okay, this is the gentle request way of saying it. Mujhse poochiye. How about tell Sita? Tell Sita. You would say tell, the word is bata. So think about how you'd say this. Bataiye. Bataiye. And then the way you would say is tell to Sita, right? Sita ko bataiye. Remember, this part will still be bataiye because this is not one of the 3 communicative words, okay? But if you want to say it to Sita, so you would say Sita se kahiye. Say it to Sita would be Sita se kahiye. And this is the final part of this video where we are doing a little bit more advanced studying. Mujhko, to me, you know this part, but mujhko has another synonym, and that is mujhe. Mujhe, right? That means also to me. So let's say you want to say Amit gives water to me. Amit gives water to me would be Amit pani deta hai mujhko, which also is equal to mujhe. You'll hear this mujhe quite a bit. And we've held off on using mujhe so far because mujhko has that modular feel. In other words, you know exactly what the ko means and what the muj means. Here it's combined. This is a more stylized form. So Amit mujhe pani deta hai is also good here. You can put it here as well. Amit mujhe pani deta hai. Okay, now let's quickly summarize all of these other kind of short forms, but more applicable forms. So mujhko is done. Humko is also the same way. Hum a, hame, of course, hame. Okay, so to us. So you can say give water to us. So how can you say give water to us? So of course, give is DGA, which we've done before, DGA, and then you'll say pani dijiye, and then to us. So you can say pani dijiye humko, or you can say hame. Hame pani dijiye. Okay, you can put the hame anywhere you'd like. Hame pani dijiye also works. Remember, the subject over here is the implied aap because you're saying you give water to us. Okay, next, let's move on to us. Any guesses? What would you do for usko? You would make it. Yes, I think you got it. Ose, unko, une. But there's a slight exception here. You make it unhe, unhe. Right, unhe. And the last one is tumko, and that makes it tumhe, tumhe, like this. So let's say you want to say you want something, so tumko chahiye. And then, of course, a better way would be tumhe, tumhe chahiye. Tumhe kya chahiye? What would you like? What do you? So this was a solid topic. We did 3 concepts. We understood where ko is used. It's mostly used for a very, very specific object, or for humans. We understood the 3 parts where say is used, and then we've also done where how muj ko becomes mujhe, etc. The other 2 places where the particle say is used, the preposition say is used, is when you use the word mang. Mang means to ask for or to demand. So mang means to demand. So let's say you want to say Radha mangti hai. Radha demands. What does she ask for? Radha pani mangti hai. Like this. So this is good. Radha pani mangti hai. From whom? Radha muj ko pani mangti hai? No. Muj se pani mangti hai. Okay. So Radha asks water from me. So Radha mujhse pani mangti hai. You would use it this way. And the final one where you would use say, a very important one, is mil, which means to meet. And this, in this case, the say means with. In this case, the say is very simple. It's with. So you can interpret it this way. You can say Amit meets with Radha, right? So the sentence would become Amit meets with Radha. It would become Amit Radha se milta hai. Or even if you want to see it even better, you can just put Radha se here at the end. Amit milta hai Radha se. But you can make it Amit Radha se milta hai. Amit Radha se milta hai. Okay, let's try one more. Sita mujh se milegi. Remember, this is the future tense. Mil means meet. So how would you interpret this? Sita will meet with me. Sita will meet with me. Okay, so that's how you are understanding these 5 important verbs and where you will use say. Otherwise, mostly you will be using ko.